Morning Llama Walker fans. Well, today I am in scenic Redcar and I'm going to be taking a walk south alongside the coastal path, and we're going to see where we're going to get to, because it's potentially quite a sunny and bright day. That's why I've actually got the sunshades on for a change. So yeah, let's get going. This walk starts in Redcar, Cleveland, and ends in Staithes, North Yorkshire. Starting from Redcar's tuned-in theatre, I head east along the front and then continue along the esplanade out of town. Picking up the coastal path, I soon head southeast over some smaller cliffs and then past Marske-by-the-Sea, before ascending yet again some increasingly steep bits of cliff route. Arriving at pretty Saltburn-by-the-Sea, I discover there are steps down off the cliff and then pass along its seafront, taking some time to admire the nearby pretty chalets. Beyond Saltburn's pier, I climb back up onto the cliffs and continue eastward, before pausing to admire the view near Warsett Hill. Then I continue along the cliff tops, past Cassy stands, and descend once more to sea level as I enter into Skinningrove, home to many pigeon fanciers. I pick up another hiker for a stretch here, and we both climb up the incredibly steep Skinningrove bank, although once we reach the top my companion decides to call it a day. But I head on along the cliffs, before descending down into tiny Boulby. Then all that's left is to head over the fields and roadways leading through Cowbar, over the bridge, and finally into Staithes itself. So I'm starting from what I think is an old theatre, or maybe still a theatre or an art space. It just looks a bit discontinued. A lot of the things in it says, like, the cafe is no longer in operation. And I'd never been to Redcar until yesterday. I sort of came to scout out the starting location, but you know what? I quite like it. All I ever knew about it was a guy I went to university with who moved up here after he left. And he always just went on about how lovely it was. Turns out he was actually talking sense, which was a bit of a shock to all of us who knew him. But as you can see, it's a bright and sunny day. We are walking south, so we are going to be walking into the sun, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so the sun's still fairly low. As the sun gets up in the sky though, I'm sure we're going to be seeing some beautiful scenery around us. But for now, let's just enjoy the town. I'm pretty sure it's actually a water feature, not that it's stinging. Coming out of the centre of Redcar now, ahead of me I can see the Clifftop route I'll eventually be taking in a couple of hours, because it's going to take me that long to walk around this bay ahead. Yeah, should be some spectacular views. I must say Redcar on a sleepy Sunday morning is a bit more down at heel than it looks like on a nice Saturday afternoon. But you've certainly, once you're down this end of the town, moved into some much nicer looking period housing. I know beyond here there's some more modern estates that do look rather nice indeed. I think ahead of me I can see the entrance to where the coastal path diverts from the roadway, so looking forward to taking that very soon. Well, that was a nice, very easy stretch. And up here, rather than walking on the beach, which I've done before, we're going to go off onto a little roadway for a short while. Didn't I say roadway? Of course. What I should have said is I'm going to walk along the small Clifftop path here. This is the English coastal path though, so that's what I'm trying to stick to. And to be honest, if you watch any of my early videos, you know my thoughts on long-term hiking on sand. I'd much rather be on a dirt path like this. Well, there's Marske-by-the-Sea, very nice house there. We're up on the cliff tops. Around to the village itself. And I've just met a very nice hiker heading in the direction. Now, he's come a lot further than I have, but not today, but he's clearly walking the coastal path as a whole, so kudos to him. I don't think I'm quite ready to attempt that. And he tells me ahead, beautiful walking if the route's a bit messed up, so we'll see what he meant by that as we go along. I've already taken a bit of a diversion just to get up here, and a little bit of beach for walking. Ooh, smashing little church on the end there. An unexpected bonus on today's walk is a number of friendly people who are stopping to have a chat. You know, even just a few words. You know, we stop, we exchange pleasantries and move on. Not much like Leicestershire, I have to say, where you get a few friendly folk, but nothing like this. So the North East is doing very well so far, as my opinion, in terms of warm welcomes. And look at that ahead, it's the first stile of the day. Because we are up on really the first sort of clifftop. I mean, look back there, Redcar in the distance, there's Marske just behind us. And Saltburn, which I can just see the church of over there, ahead, about a mile. Maybe even less, well, less as the crow flies. As the llama walks, could be further. And there ahead of us at last is Saltburn-by-the-Sea. Oh, and a ditch apparently. And I've just yet met more friendly people on this path. Wow, North East, you're trying to persuade to move here, aren't you? You really are, because such nice people to meet. And these were definitely local this time, because they were sort of telling me about the routes around here. Although they did warn me that I'll be going down and then up again, so I guess climbing up that big cliff face edge on the far side of there. Hope we don't go all the way down into the bay. That would be a bit overkill, it feels like. But you never know. There you go, the steps. There's a huge cut into the landscape at the start of Saltburn, which means you can't just keep walking on the cliffs. You do have to go all the way down and then all the way up again. So I'll be taking this at a very gentle pace. Well, now well and truly beyond Saltburn. You can still see all where I've trekked from along there. And we are slowly trekking up what I've seen, certainly so far, as the highest promontory. So about half an hour, probably 15-20 minutes from that. Oh! Certainly giving my legs plenty of climbing exercise today. There's a lovely cool breeze coming off the sea, which is keeping my temperature down, which is beautiful. Even though the sun is middling intense. I've known it worse. I think it'll be hotter tomorrow, to be honest. That's the reason I'm out walking today. I think we're now, nearly out of sight of Redcar and everything behind us. You can still just see the offshore wind farm. Look, there appears to be a railway runs along here. It's rather unexpected. Oh! I think I'm at least a mile or so from my next village. And oh look, I can just see, going around the headland, another large cliff to climb. It looks even larger than the one I've just climbed. Oh! Today, as my wife has already said, it's all about a lot of climbing. Just one reason why she's definitely not here, I suspect. Mysterious round object ahead. I'll get a photo of when I get near. Oh, a radio antenna atop the cliff, but notice that I presume where the bay goes in there will be the next village. Which does actually mean I need to change maps, because I've just come to the edge of my current one. Well, good, that's Yeah, that's a long way down there. Glad there's a fence for once. And definitely don't think I want to do this in wind, rain or snow. Or indeed on a bike. Wow, that's fairly spectacular views ahead there. I mean, less spectacular. I can see already that the next village I will be walking straight down into and then climbing back up the cliff. So, yes, I know I could go inland and avoid that, but we'll be walking the coastal route then, so what will be the point? Still, beautiful. Oh, look at that bay it's got there and the huge breakwater for the quay. Ooh. Well, imagine this is going to be some sort of smaller fishing village rather than a tourist destination. So yes, even though we are about to descend into Skinningrove, Grove, it is at least through some very dramatic scenery. Strewn with rocks, all of which I just fell over. I just fell over a rock last week. I could do that again. Oh look, it's more steps. You know what? I might concentrate on climbing the steps now rather than filming. Sorry, folks. So this is Skinnington, or Skinning Boy, or it's got Skinny in the name. So Skinningrove. That voice you can hear is Mrs. Llama, who's joined me temporarily off camera for a short bit of the walk. Welcome, Mrs. Llama. She has foolishly said she quite fancies coming for a quick walk up the steps just ahead of me. She may soon regret that. Well, certainly the steps out of Skinningrove were challenging. Mrs. Llama is still with me, a little way behind me at the moment. She's vowed not to appear on camera, so I'll give her that. But at least we found the local Pigeon Fanciers association in the village. It's an old mining village, so, you know, not surprised to find Pigeon Fanciers there. I'm from a long line of Pigeon Fanciers myself. Not that I do it myself, but I see the old traditions coming on. What I can see ahead, though, is on our route, is there's an even higher cliff ahead of us. So I was thinking, oh, more climbing to go. I hope it's a gradual ascent and not another one down to the beach again. But, you know, over 9 miles now, you know, still going a reasonable pace. Not sure how much longer I've got Mrs. Llama with me, though, because I think her legs might start falling off very soon. Well, the views are terrific. The hill was beyond brutal. Wow. I think thankfully though we are more or less at the top of it now. Mrs. Llama's gone ahead to have a quick look, see what's ahead. Oh, I'm thinking I've got maybe one more or two more villages left in me after this. So we'll see where we get to. Well, Mrs. Llama has sensibly decided she's turning back now to her car. She's got 45 minutes to walk back to it. And I don't blame her. And I've been debating whether I get to the next village and call it a day, or the village after that, which is probably only the half an hour after it. So it's all going to depend, I think, on how much more climbing there is to do today. I knew this would be a hilly route. I just think it's a lot hillier than I'm used to. Leicestershire has some gentle rolling hills, but nothing like these. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I've said before, it makes the coastline so dramatic, but on the other side it makes it a lot harder to walk. Someone very much making hay while the sun shines. I'm kind of hoping the village I can see ahead there is my final destination today. I think realistically it's going to be my final destination today. There's a tiny little village here, and then maybe 20 minutes walking to Staithes, which is the village we can just see in the distance. And I think, you know what, I was thinking about calling it a day at the next village, but I think it'll be nice to get to Staithes, having sort of been watching it for a while. And oh, my legs will be glad of a stop then. Yes, can confirm this is the tiny little village here, and there, a mile away allegedly, is Staithes, and that is going to be our destination for today. Definitely feel the line up and down and climbing and walking for one day, and it looks not too steep for the last bit, so I think I'll just push on for that last mile and then call Mrs. Llama to come pick me up. She's already made it back to the colour successfully, by the way. She clearly had an easier go of it. And if, like my friend here, you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a like, share it, or make sure you subscribe to catch all my adventures. I think he's trying to get YouTube on that setup. I don't think he's had much success there. It's noticeable that I'm catching up more hikers now, that this is definitely one of the easier stretches because you've got more people doing it. And that's what I want at the end of this. Not as long as I might have done, but still pretty darn grueling route. I mean, the weather has been very kind to me. A little cooler would have been fine. A few more shops selling icy pops would be even better, and I'm kind of hoping Staithes might have something like that. But you know, it's a spectacular part of the country to come walking. If, as I say, challenging on the legs. It's very nice that for the last half mile it appears it's going to be hard standing, which is great. I've had enough of wading through plants for the day. Oh, so close you can almost touch it, just to feel the way now. So maybe 10 minutes at most, even at my slightly slower pace I've hit now. And there's Staithes. Wow. Yeah, that was a lot of cliffs. Gorgeous countryside, lots of cliffs, quite warm. Gonna be glad to go and find Mrs. Llama now and get a drive home. But I hope to see you for the very next Walking with Llama's Paws.